Welcome everyone, my name is Echo. This has been highly requested because the Tinker's Construct add-on now has a 2.0 version. I've seen you all requesting this in the comment section. Now it says in the changelog, new features in 2.0, new modifiers, 17 plus powerful modifiers, including 3x3 mining and one-hit trees. Bows, 16 unique bows with special abilities, Tinker's chests, 3 new storage blocks, there's a ton of mob heads, 13 new fearsome heads to collect, plus tons of fixes and improvements for a smoother experience. I did see a lot of you commenting saying, hey Echo, this feature isn't working anymore. That's not working since the Pale Garden update. In these latest versions, those issues have been resolved. Let's check it out. The latest file size is showing at 36 megabytes. So I never realized how much new content was introduced since we last checked it out. So to make things a little bit easier for you, I'll put a bunch of timestamps on this video. We're going to check out the previous changelogs and of course, the brand new features. So once you have this installed in a new or pre-existing world, you are going to be given a changelog book. It looks like this. It will just say Tinker's Updates Changelogs. Now, for those of you that do already have this add-on installed in a pre-existing world, all you need to do is update your add-on and the new changes will automatically be applied. If we go ahead and open up this, it's going to show us the latest changelogs. We will get into this, but not just yet. We need to scroll down to view older changelogs. Now, in my previous videos, we checked out update 1 and update 2, but I never checked out 3, 4, 5, and the latest. So we're going to start with update 3. So it says, we are back with even more content and bug fixes in the exciting third update. New features. They did do a durability overhaul. A brand new durability system has been implemented to better match vanilla gameplay. Basically, just means your tools are not going to break incredibly easy. But they did also introduce the iron cans. Introducing iron cans, smaller containers that hold 100 millibuckets of fluid. Perfect for storing those leftover fluids. And a bunch of changes which we're going to go through. So to make yourself a smaller bucket, you are going to need an iron ingot and copper nuggets. Yes, we do have more nuggets available in this add-on. So if you open up the crafting table, tap on craftable, we now have the smaller versions. In the previous versions, we had cans, and these would store 200 millibuckets. So as you guys know, in the previous versions, if you were to have lava, put this inside of here, this is going to heat it up, and you could put things like iron in here, for example. And as of right now, you'll see we have the can. This takes out 200. Now, let's say you didn't have much copper, but you did have plenty of iron. You can go ahead and just use the smaller versions, and it's just an alternative. As it does describe, it's just to store those leftover fluids. As mentioned in update 3, the Wandering Tinkerer has undergone a balancing revamp. They now require specific types of nuggets for certain trades, based on fantastic community suggestions. Additionally, the Wandering Tinkerer has expanded their trade offerings. So you guys are going to find them out in the wild. If we go ahead and summon one of these, tap on them, and scroll down to the bottom, you will see the better types of trades. But these now require emeralds alongside different types of nuggets. So these can all be converted into nuggets alongside a lot more of them, by the way. But we'll convert each and every single one of these. And then we'll also grab ourselves the needed emeralds, tap on the trader, scroll down to the bottom, and we can purchase things like Ardites, or it could have been cobalt. So of course, these are going to be the better materials. They're just going to be a little bit more pricey. So I really like this one. Right here, we have the Ardite pickaxe, which of course has smeltery. If we were to go ahead and mine this, it makes sense. It's a really cool quality of life change that I was really impressed with. So all of these will be instantly transferred into these, saving you a lot of time. If you were to do it with something like the clay blocks, you end up with... Hold on one second. I think I meant to end up with... okay, so we can still get the clay balls, but you can also get bricks as well. Moving on to update 4. In this version, they did introduce the encyclopedia. This is going to be made with a book and 8 golden nuggets. Open up the crafting table. If you don't see it, tap on craftable and you'll be given this. Now let's read the details in this version. So it does say 1.21 is here, which means a new update. Now, again, this was a while ago, so it does say not much in the way of content, but we have made lots of bug fixes and quality of life changes. Like I said, they did introduce the encyclopedia. So if you were to go ahead and open this, it just explains what this is. It explains how to get started if you're a new player to play in this. And then a little bit further on, let's go to tools, for example. Let's say you wanted to make something like a cleaver. At the bottom, it tells you that this requires the Tinker's Anvil to craft. It also explains a little bit of basic details behind this. So if I was to go ahead and use these tools, for example, I know in order to craft the specific cleaver, it has to be done in this anvil. Can't be done on a regular crafting table. So you can see here, as you can see, this is now crafted. And then if we were to do something like a dagger, so if we open up the tools, tap on dagger, at the bottom, it says requires the Tinker's Station to craft. So anyone who is new that might get confused, the encyclopedia will be your best friend. It also explains a lot more in terms of like the tiers. So like tier 1, it explains wood and stone and bone. If we go back, let's say we went to tier 3 here, it'll start teaching you about amethyst, bronze, diamond, cobalt. So if we tap on this, it will say tool head, durability. It will say harvest tier, so you have to use diamond to get it, mining speed and stuff like that. So yeah, this is just going to be your guide. But if you are new here, obviously start on the likes of tier 1, because of course you are going to start with stone tools. So in this version, it starts to talk about the expansion of blocks like Ardite, now smelts, things like grout, sponge, and sandstone, and even more. It does say restore durability information as well. There was a bunch of optimizations along with some bug fixes. So just like before, if we were to mine this, the grout will produce seared bricks. This is wet sponge, so this should be dry. Although that didn't work. That actually didn't work with that one. Interesting. But the sandstone was smelted into chiseled sandstone. So interestingly enough, these are both sponge, and they make the noise. But I did it with the wet sponge, and it didn't quite work, which to me doesn't make sense. Time for update 5. They introduced a drying rack. I'm not going to read the details behind this. I'm just going to show you. In order to make yourself a drying rack, you are going to need sticks. Now, these can be placed between blocks like this, or on the front of them like this. And this is really cool because you're now able to make yourself jerky. One thing I did notice, and apparently this is a vanilla bug, things like this don't show up in the item frame. So you are now able to make jerky for all of these food types. So if we go ahead and put that up there, put that on there, put that on there. Eventually, these are going to dry out. I was a huge fan of this. Let's go ahead and put... you can do rotten flesh as well, by the way. Tropical fish can be done. Cod can be done. You can see they're all starting to convert in their own time. And you can read a little bit more information about this in the Tinker's gadgetry. So if you go ahead and open this and scroll all the way to the back, I believe it will explain about the drying rack since it's new. So we go back, it says place raw meat on it, etc. It then says allow 30 to 60 seconds for it to dry. Then all you need to do is punch it. So we'll go ahead and grab each and every single one of these. Just got to punch it, or right click, should we say, by the way. And then you end up with all of these jerkies, which of course you can eat. And it shows you like how good the hunger points are going to be. Where's the rotten flesh then? Monster jerky. I want to make sure we can eat this without getting injured. Yeah, you can. So a really cool quality of life feature that I really appreciated. It also means in this version as well that you're now able to put rotten flesh on campfires. It doesn't work for the soul one, though. Only works for the regular one. Another feature they do need to introduce as well, though, is being able to put tropical fish on here alongside it, because I tried tropical fish and it's not possible to do. But we'll wait for this to pop off first. Oh, so this one doesn't produce jerky. Unexpected. This one produces leather. Okay, I kind of like that. Kind of makes sense as to why you can't put this on there. But I think it would be a cool idea. And from my understanding, this tool can now be used to mine the likes of these much faster, which previously wasn't a thing, and this also includes the petals and the skulk veins. It says, Tinker's Construct 2.0 has arrived. This major update introduces a powerful new modifier system, exciting new bows, and numerous improvements. The new features, Modifiers. Supercharge your gear with 17 new powerful modifiers, including 3x3 mining, one-hit tree felling, dynamic light, and much more. So if you were to go ahead and open up a crafting table, type in mod, for example, you are going to see all of the modifiers. These can be crafted inside of a regular crafting table. And in fact, they're all on the wall right here. They kind of look like your smithing templates. So we're going to make these, and I'm going to show you all of the information. There is also a brand new book that comes with the tinkering. Now, if you go ahead and open this, it says, I've been experimenting with materials and discovered something quite intriguing. Modifiers. Modifiers grant unique abilities to your tools and weapons, though strangely, they don't seem to work with any throwable items. Luckily for all you tinkerers, I've documented my findings. Now, we need to start with a modifier template. This is going to be made with diamonds and seared bricks. Open up a crafting table, diamond in the middle. This all goes around the outside. And that is because if we tap once again in here and type in mod, we tap on any of these in the middle, you'll see we have the modifier. It says this is the empty modifier. It's the main ingredient for crafting them. Now, really cool thing here is that if you tap on a specific modifier, it's going to explain what it is. So that's something I really like behind this. Just explains what each one can do and how they're going to work. But again, I'm going to show you as many as possible. Making most of these isn't too difficult. I mean, this one is quite rare because you need to use netherite stars. Let's see what the most expensive one is. This one needs silky jewel. This one's going to need cloth, amethyst. Yeah, so you're going to have to do some adventuring with these. On the next page, to create a modifier, we always start with a modifier template surrounded with the required materials. So this is the explosive one. So we'll go ahead and make ourselves the explosive one here as it does request. Open up a crafting table, tap on craftable, and we now have this. So there is a brand new table introduced. And on the next page, it explains all about each modifier. We'll come back to this, but we want to get into the actual table itself. So there is multiple tables. If you just type in mod again, you can see they can be made with andesite. You can make them with stone, moss. There's a whole bunch of these. I just went with the cobbled version. Sorry, the deep slate version. It's just the one I like. Open up a crafting table, and we'll get this made. So before we read the information behind each one, the way this works is so impressive. Grab yourself a pickaxe. It could be a sword. It could be daggers. And that information, once again, is described inside of here. So, for example, we have the top one, which is Bane. Adds Bane of arthropods, enchant, which can be stacked just for swords and axes. So we'll put this on the table. We then have the modifier. You then tap on this. Then you hit it again to get it off. And this has been applied. At the bottom, it says we have slots 1/3. These can be stacked. I don't think all of them can, but a lot of them can. So we would then have to get ourselves more of the explosives. Before we do apply any other type of modifier to this, it's also important to understand you can remove modifiers. Grab yourself an empty modifier template, put it in a crafting table, and it becomes the remover. Make sure your tool is on top of this table. Tap on it, and it's going to remove it from the tool. We grab ourselves the tool. You'll notice it has no modifiers on. Now, I'm starting with this one because this cannot be stacked. So you can see here, this one doesn't stack. But this has 2 extra spaces, which means we could add an additional 2 types of modifiers. This one, for example, cannot be used with explosives, which makes perfect sense. I'm going to grab myself something that possibly could, like bright. So if we grab bright, tap it on here, this has now been applied. Open this up. It has 2 of them attached. This one here is rapid. Can we attach this? The answer is yes. We now have 3 different things on this. So I need to mess around with these because I've not fully tested all of them. This one basically is a 3x3 mining ability. Let's do /time set, and we do midnight. So this one will grant you the dynamic lighting ability, which of course is going to be from bright. So I'm going to put a brand new tool in there. I'm going to attach sponged. This one is the one that can move water. And I saved a lot of these for like a first experience kind of vibe. As we get over here, it practically just moves it away from you. It's so cool. It's so cool. So yeah, this could be a really good way to use and mine all the sand. But yeah, you're kind of protected. It's really cool. Electrifying, for example. A chance to summon lightning when hitting mobs. Can only be used on swords. So grab yourself the template, grab your sword, place it down, attach this on. If we're lucky enough and manage to kill a mob, it could be struck by lightning. There we go. We managed to get it. We managed to get it. But you do need to be careful because you might get injured in the process of this. So a lot of them are just like enhancements from your regular Minecraft enchantments, like Bane being Bane of Arthropods. We have like Lucky, which is looting, pushed, which is knockback, rapid, which is basically like haste. Rather than it being more of an enchantment, it's more like a potion effect. But really impressed with how this turned out. And you're just going to have to mess around with them, do some tweaking and testing. Starstruck, for example, has a 5% chance to drop a nether star when defeating hostile mobs. Can only be used on daggers and swords. So let's give that one a go. I'm curious if I can attach Lucky as well as Starstruck, and the answer is yes. So this one has 3 separate modifiers on this. So can I add more, though? Can I have more of these? Yeah, so this one isn't going to stack either. Okay, well, let's see if we get lucky. There you go. I actually got it first time there. Only a 5% chance, but it's still better than nothing. It's still better than nothing. Okay, that one's got struck. But imagine getting it first time was absolutely huge. I would recommend having the lightning ability and having the star one on at the same time, because the chances are you could actually lose the star in fire. We did also get the introduction of 16 brand new bows. The creators told me it doesn't work with something like this yet because they weren't happy with how it turned out. So for now, in order to make this, you're going to need to make yourself a Tinker's Table, I think it's called. It's called the Tinker's Station. We need one of these. Again, they come in various different colors. So in order to make yourself the special bows, you're going to need the handles and you're going to need string. If you open up this table now, you can see each and every single bow you're able to make. These do come with special abilities on their own. There's a lot on offer. I'm not going to show you guys them all, but I'll go ahead and show you guys a bunch of these that are actually pretty cool. So a lot of them just have default things. So smeltery would work like Ardite, instantly smelting and cooking things. Let's do like magnetic. Magnetic is a pretty good one, actually. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw these on the floor, grab ourselves the magnetic one, and the stuff just comes automatically to you. Speed basically grants you speed. As you can see here, I've got no arrows right now. We have struck, which I think is like a lightning one. Bounce. It gives you the ability to bounce, literally. And then there's so many different ones. These are just really cool quality of life if you don't like the regular bows. Tinker's Chests. Expand your storage option with 3 different types of chests. Now, these are pure and simply for decoration purposes. As I asked the creators, they might get expanded in the future. So we have the part chest. Place it down, just again, pure and simply for decoration. The next one is the same recipe, but made with lapis instead. So just going to be a different color here. And then the last one actually requires a template. The storage space, it's only this much space. Can you combine these together next to each other to make a double one? Unfortunately not. But these are made with seared bricks and brick block, along with a bucket cast. And this is going to make this one right here. Again, just visually pleasing to look at. And then we did get the introduction of a whole bunch more of mob heads, which I think these can be traded with when it comes to the tinkering trader. If you like mob heads and you're like me and you like to collect them all, well, there's even more on offer. Now, when we open up the book, we have the latest changes. Now, most of these are just quality of life, like the necrotic bone drops, where the skeletons now always drop them, at least one when they are killed. And obviously, it now supports the latest version and a bunch of bug fixes. A lot of you are having problems with the smeltery, the modifiers. They are all now working. Everything should be smooth in the latest version. So if we were to kill something like a wither skeleton now, using this, they drop not only the regular bones on occasions, but of course, the new ones. And that is everything in the latest versions. Hopefully this video has helped you out. I'll do my best to try and stay on top of the latest versions going forward. But yeah, once again, Tinker's Construct, one of, if not the best add-ons on the Minecraft marketplace. There's a lot more to come. Have a wonderful day.